I woke up at like 7:30 in the morning or something like that, and we had like 400 orders, and I literally looked at my phone. I was like, "Oh my god!" And over a 24-hour span, we had, I want to say, 1,015 orders or something like that. Every 35 seconds, an order was coming in. We were like, "Oh my god, this is so exciting!" Because like money. But then, what do we do?
I'm here with Jill and Katie from Wolfe and Wood. Wood
Wood
and
and
Wolf.
Wolfe.
Okay, we're gonna edit that part. God, yeah, okay, we do edit, by the way.
Right.
So I'm here with Jill and Katie from Wood and Wolf, and we were just talking about the trap of TikTok or just any content creation in general. Like when you start a business, especially online, it's like you put yourself out there, and then all of a sudden it becomes this thing that you have to do to get more sales. And then when you try to outsource it, and this is where the conversation was going, like when you try to outsource it, it usually, in my experience, has gone to crap. So, and then you have to like end up. So, you two are big on TikTok. Like you do a lot of TikTok.
Mhm.
So, have you tried to outsource it before?
Yeah. So we have what, twice now?
Yes.
Twice, 2 or 3 times now.
Yeah.
Tried to outsource it. So we started when we started in 2022. The first thing that gave us like our first big jump into like finding success was we made a TikTok. And I know you're not familiar, but it's like if anybody that is listening is familiar, they'll know what I'm talking about. It's like an Adam Sandler sound that's like I can't even really remember it, but it's like essentially what are you doing here? And it's like Adam Sandler and like his basketball shorts and oversized t-shirt at like an event where you should have black tie on. And our whole thing was like we had started just with permanent jewelry. So we came into the permanent jewelry space at a time where the only people that were doing it were like white Anglo-Saxon, Christian, Protestant, like women. Like it was just this very like upper middle class. I don't know how familiar you are with Nashville, but like outside of Nashville is a suburb called Franklin, and it's like where all of the celebrities live. It's very expensive, like very rich, and that's like they were catering to them and only them.
Yeah.
No one was catering to like the bachelorette parties or the 20-something-year-olds that can't afford a $300 bracelet. So when we made that sound, we were like, we're, essentially we're the new permanent jewelry company in town, and we're here for like 20-somethings that can't afford that $300 bracelet or $600 necklace or whatever it might be. And it just really took off. So we got so many bookings in the matter of like 24 hours. Jill and I were having mental breakdowns every few hours.
And still to this day, we have a few every now and again.
And we still do.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I will say when I was reading your story and I saw the permanent jewelry thing, I remember it was like maybe a year ago. My wife came home and she had like a permanent bracelet on.
Yeah.
And I was just, I'm probably just a dumb guy, but I was like, so you can't ever take that off? Like it just stays there forever? Like, and she was like, yeah, it's like, this is what the ladies are doing now. And I was like, how is that? I didn't understand it. So like, how did that become, do you know how that became popular? Like is it just a trend, or like, is there kind of a deeper story behind it?
Yeah. Do you want to take it?
I mean, so it all started, I'm pretty sure we can bring it all back to, there was Catbird in New York. They were like the first to do it ever. And then by the time we started, there were no instructions. There was no, how do you do this? How do you use it? Like we had no
YouTube videos even.
Yeah. Now there's like hundreds of, the market is so saturated now, but when we started it, I was actually in welding school at the time. And Katie had called me and she was like, have you ever heard of permanent jewelry? And I was like, I mean, kind of, like, sure. And she was like, if I send you this welder, can you figure out how to work it and then teach me how to use it? And I was like, sure. This big, lunky, scary machine,
huge.
I literally brought it into my to my welding teacher, and I was like, Greg, have you ever seen one of these before? And he was like, no, what is this? And I'm like, it's a micro welder. Can you figure out how to like teach me how to figure it out? And we reverse engineered it, and that's kind of where we started.
Yeah. For anyone that's listening, it's a micro arc welder, correct?
Yes.
So it can be very powerful, and we have zapped the hell out of ourselves at points, specifically more Jill, but we have pictures from like our first days of Jill in, what's your school's name?
What
was the welding school's name?
TCAT.
It's like she's like in TCAT, and there's like 8 men around her trying to figure out how to weld jewelry for us.
And I used all of the boys in my class as they were all our guinea pigs. And they were like, yeah, they saw me do it. They're like, sure, put one on me. So it all very humble beginnings. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. But now, like I said, it's so saturated, and there's people selling courses, and you can pay $3,000 and we'll help you start your permanent jewelry business. And it's like, you just have to be a little bit more resourceful.
Yeah.
Like everything's out there. You just have to seek it out yourself and try to figure it out. But,
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
And boy, did we.
Oh, so, I mean, essentially it's just, all it is, we like to call it lazy girl jewelry, right? So I wear rings. I don't wear necklaces. I don't wear bracelets because I don't like to take them on and off. I just keep my rings on at all times. So with this, you just keep it on all the time. You don't have to worry about it. You wake up, you're already fully accessorized. So I think that's a big thing for everybody. And also you can wear it in water, you can get them wet, you can work out in it. Like, it's just meant to be on you.
And for all the girlies listening, you can spray tan, you can fake tan in it. That's what I do. So that's always what people ask us. They're like, was my fake tan gonna ruin it? And we're like, no, girl.
Yeah.
I mean, fake tan every Thursday.
I have one on my ankle, and I've had it for like over a year now, and it's done great. Like, the only time it actually bothers me is I got a pair of boots that are like super tight. And if I'm like wearing it with those, because it's a little charm too. But like I've actually put like a little piece of the, what is it, the mink stuff that if you're going hiking, there's like something that you can put on like a spot if you've got like a bad spot on your skin or something. And it just like sits under there and it doesn't bother you at all.
Yeah.
Which
we
is
have
great.
A lot of like girls that are in high school will get them that play volleyball, and like they're on your wrist, obviously.
Yeah.
You just put sports tape over it and they're fine with it.
That's smart.
So how long do people keep these on? Because I know that my wife kept hers on for like a year and then it just kind of disappeared after that. So like, do you see that where it's like you get people that have it for a while, get rid of it, and then get a new one?
Yeah, we have a lot. Well, like, okay, the very first bracelet I ever put on, I put it on my ex-boyfriend because I was just like playing with it to like try to figure it out. And he took it off. We broke up. He took it off a month ago. It was on for 3 years.
I don't know why I laughed. I'm sorry.
It's funny. It was like, he was like, whatever. It was very funny. So for at least 3 years, as long as that's the very first bracelet we ever put on, and that stayed that long. Do you know anyone longer that has had it longer?
I've had these on for almost the 3 years that we've been in business.
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully, we want it to stay on forever, right? But it depends on like your activity level, and sometimes they can get ripped off, and but that's where we come in and we can put it back on. Just because it falls off, we can fix it and it'll come back on. But usually around a year and a half, 2 years. Okay. Yeah.
They also make you take it off for surgery. So we have people that will like take it off and then bring it back to us.
Okay. So like what you said that you originally started doing this because some people couldn't afford like the super high price points. So where do yours sit price wise?
That's a Jill question.
Okay.
So coming into the space, other businesses would charge, they'll say anywhere between $150 to $300, depending on what you were getting. And we were like, that's just ridiculous. Like what you're using is, if you do pure gold, I can like, it can get a little bit more expensive, but the markup on everything here, like since we've been able to see it from the back end, it's just robbery. And we're in Nashville. So it's like, people come here to spend money. So people know that they're going to come here to spend money, but like we live here and we have a great community of people here that we want to be able to offer that to. So ours range anywhere between 65 to 75, sometimes 85 for like a longer piece. So under $100 was our one thing that we always wanted to make sure that we could keep it at, because
that's cool.
Baseline everywhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still people selling them for like $150, $250. And it's just,
and as the price of gold has gone up so astronomically in the last 3 years, and we've only raised the prices, I think $5 or $10 or something like that. Like, there really is just like such a markup, and like it's so insane. Like we understand obviously the back end, like there's so much more than goes into what something costs besides just the actual like gold or the chain that you're buying, right? We understand that, and we simultaneously can look at these companies and be like, you're assholes.
To be quite frank,
the markup is like 400%. That's literally, and I also don't get why people are like, I want pure gold or a solid gold, because ours are gold filled, for example, and they're not going to tarnish either. They don't, and it's insane. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
we could really go into it because we get so mad like when we see what people charge. We're like, that's not fair. Whatever, corporations.
Yeah. So we also think about ourselves too, right? So like, I know that I'm a 33-year-old. When we started this, it was mid 30s. And I just think about how much money I want to spend on something that's like a good piece of jewelry. And even if it's the best piece of jewelry, like, I don't know, I don't have that exposable income like that. And I know there's a lot of people that feel that way and are in that.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
love that you guys are keeping yourselves in mind. And like if I was the customer here, like I want to be the customer, what would I want price wise and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ariel, have you bought any stuff from them?
I have. I
Oh,
actually
that's good.
bought a
You get a
one of
surprise necklace, right?
yes, a surprise
They-
charm necklace. And I love this is like the neatest thing in the world. And I'm sure somebody else is doing it, but in my head and heart, you guys like found this idea. Like it's original to you. I'd love to hear that that's the case. But basically, they like go through your Instagram and build a charm bracelet or necklace based on what they see on your Instagram. And it's
Oh,
like
that's
a
cool.
surprise. Isn't that neat?
Whoa.
And
Okay.
you
I've
can
never
like
even heard of
share
that.
info also, or like I guess you could get it as a gift for someone. And like, I don't know, it's the neatest idea. So
Yeah.
did you guys come up with it?
We did. Yeah. And I
Oh
don't
my gosh, that's awesome.
think anyone else is doing
As
it.
far as we know, we're the only ones that are doing it.
Yeah.
So
I
that's cool.
also love then you go through, like, you've got videos where I think it's you, Katie, who goes through mostly and is like, I put the like spicy pepper one on here because of this, or I put, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So we had kind of touched on this earlier, but permanent jewelry got really saturated, I would say, in 23, 24 maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To the point where we were like, okay, and we can talk about this, but we're not going to be nice about it. The way that this market has gotten saturated with people that are just embarrassing for the brand. I can't even like begin to describe it. The people that are doing permanent jewelry and like the way that they're first of all pricing it, but like also talking about it or like just kind of the aesthetic of it. Like I think things come out of the market, right? And they have a certain aesthetic, and it's like you can keep that aesthetic even if your price point is different. You can keep that aesthetic, that kind of like feel, that kind of like value to like what it is. And the whole idea behind permanent jewelry was like you're gonna get this like with somebody, right? Because it's like this semi-permanent piece. Get it with your friend, get it with your mom, get it with your significant other, whatever. It's also really easy jewelry, and then people just started making it into the ugliest thing I've ever seen. They also like completely lost the whole like value of like the concept behind it. So in 23, 24, we started realizing like, okay, everybody and literally their mother and aunt and grandmother are running permanent jewelry businesses. Like, what are we going to do next? And what did we try before charm stuff? Anything?
I think we just
Maybe not.
straight up went to charms.
So we started doing like charms, offering charms at events, and then we were like, we really like our biggest goal was always to like get online. Like we wanted to have online sales. You obviously can't do permanent jewelry online because you have to be welding in person. So we started ordering charms, but we would order them in bulk and they'd always vary depending on like what we could get from our manufacturers. And so we were like, well, how do we put something online that we don't know if we can get it from them? Again, like how do we sell that? And we're like, what if they didn't pick their own charms? Like what if we picked them? And that's kind of where that idea developed, is out of necessity because we couldn't constantly upload inventory like that when we have no idea when we'll get that stock again, or if it's even worth us sitting there to like make the listing on our website, right? So we came up with this idea, and I think originally it started with like someone would tell it, like you'd tell us a crazy story and we'd make a charm necklace based off of it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And that didn't do super well. It was funny. The couple that we got were really funny. And then Jill and I were talking, and I think it was you that said something like, people love to hear about themselves. Like,
People love to talk about themselves.
Yeah. And like anything that's like about them, especially from a stranger, they're going to share on their socials. And so that's where the idea came from. And so our first viral video with that was January of 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how
Did
viral?
you foresee, well, and did you foresee that would happen with those videos that you were making? Like, was that
was
part of
always
the plan?
Yeah.
It was the hope, but we
Yeah.
had no idea of what was about to happen.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I think I don't even know, over 100,000 views on the video. We got a little over 1,000 orders.
No, our first one was
Wow.
our first one was January.
That's crazy.
Was that the 1,000 orders?
No, that was March.
So sorry. We didn't hit the 1,000 yet, but first one went viral. We got a big push.
First one was like 100 orders or something like that, and that was in January of 24. And then
Was it March?
from one of those orders, in March I had posted a video And that's the one that went like extremely viral. I want to say it was like 600,000 views or something. We didn't, this is so stupid, learn from our mistakes. Literally, two of the dumbest business owners you'll ever meet. We do not put limits, like an order limit on our stuff online. So we woke up, like I wake up, we work opposite schedules because she's a bartender. I woke up at like 7:30 in the morning or something like that, and we had like 400 orders, and I literally looked at my phone. I was like, "Oh my god!" And I didn't turn them off, and I didn't think about it. And I was like, "Jill, wake up, wake up!" And so we look at it, and over a 24-hour span, we had, I want to say, 1,015 orders or something like that. It was, our phones were like every 35 seconds, but an order was coming in. We were like, "Oh my god, this is so exciting!" Because like money, but then what do we do?
Yeah. How do you do it? What did you do?
A snowball that just kept getting bigger and rolling down the hill, and we were just like, "Oh shit!"
It's like watching it roll. Like we're not even going to stop it at this point.
We were like, "Yeah, look at the money though. Like, what are we gonna do?"
It was the scariest, but most awesome things that have ever happened to us with the business. But again, scary.
Yeah. And I know you. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, what did you do? How did you try to fulfill them? Like, what did?
So I remember, like, I was sitting at lunch and I was like, "Jill, should I turn the orders off?" We had like maybe 6 or 7 hours worth of orders. It was at like $45,000 already, and we had never had like that in our life. Like our highest day before that was like 15,000 or something.
Yeah.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
So we were like blown away, and I was like, "Jill, should I turn orders off?" And she's like, "Low key, no."
We're like, we might be stupid sometimes, but we're very resourceful, and I knew that we were going to be able to figure it out.
Yeah.
And we did. Like I said before, we had at this time we had about 8 or 9 employees, and we sent out a text and we were like, "We need you guys
around the clock
to come help us." At the time, I was living in this 800 square foot house. My entire, mind you, I don't know, my son is like less than 6 months old. So like my mom's living at the house with me to help me with the baby. The whole living room is just this big, long table. And we just had girls that would just come over in shifts, and we just did it all day long. And it took us about a month to get them all out. And working every single day, like 8, 9, 10 hours a day.
Yeah. And working our other jobs.
Yeah. We cried a lot, but we made it through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We I lived in Chattanooga at the time, which is 2 hours south of Nashville, and I called all my friends that had never done a single Wood and Wolf event ever, and there was like 6 of us in Chattanooga at my house, and like all of our girls at her house in Nashville, and we're just like teaching them how to do it, and we're like, yeah, I guess just go. So like luckily I'm an attorney, which we can get in the background if you want to. So like I had independent contractor agreements like in place with all of our Nashville girls. So like I had all my friends sign them. I was like, I know this is weird, but I'm too scared not to. So we're gonna sign contracts now. And we figured it out. And then I think also we had the conversation of like, okay, well, like if we can't ship all these orders out in time, we're gonna have people cancel. And Jill was like, okay, well, it's better than just like preemptively canceling their orders. You know what I mean? Like let them ask us to cancel or like refund or return or whatever instead of doing it for them. So we're like, okay.
So who's handling customer service? Oh, sorry, Ariel. Sorry.
I was just going to ask if you have any.
Flow.
Did you have any people cancel, or how many people?
Not many.
That's
people
awesome.
were really, really understanding because of the virality of the video. They were like, we totally understand. And it wasn't like around a holiday. So there wasn't like, you know, we had some people that were like, oh, I was ordering this for like a birthday or like something like that. I want to say 10, maybe.
Wow, that's awesome.
Another thing, communication. We were constantly like updating people like on our Instagrams just to be like, just so you guys know, like we are literally working around the clock. I promise you it's coming out.
That's cool.
Just constantly reminding people and making sure to stay on top of like any email, handling customer service on top of all of that.
Yeah.
Was
so
very helpful.
To answer your question, I do all the, at the time I was doing all the legal and the accounting and the customer service and socials, and Jill was doing pop-ups and orders. But obviously Jill couldn't do those orders by herself. So then that's when I really stepped in. And that's why I didn't have a team in Chattanooga to do orders as well. And then,
What does the team look like now? Like you said, you have employees and all that. Like what is the whole picture?
Yeah. How many do we have now?
We actually downsized because we've been doing a lot of like online stuff. So it's me, her. We had a few girls move away. One girl just moved to Scotland. on
Literally,
Friday.
yeah, Friday. I think there's probably what, 8 of us now?
Yeah, total
Yeah.
with us included.
Give or take 8. Yeah, and I just moved to Nashville, so it that relieves a lot of the like, it's a person we don't have to pay. I'll do it if
Right.
you'll do it.
We always will like, we want to make sure that one of us can do it, and if it's outside of our availability, then that's when the girls will come in and help
Yeah.
us. But we don't have to pay somebody.
Or if we want to go out together.
Yeah, we'll do an event together and just hang out. It's fun.
What are the people that are on your team? What are they doing? Like just doing the welding, fulfilling orders with the charm bracelets and stuff,
A lot
or
of health. So usually the beginning of every month, we kind of map out the month and see like, what pop-ups are available, because we are mobile. We don't have a storefront.
Mhm.
So we just move around a lot. And so we'll send out the occasional, text, like if it's a day that I can't take, or if Katie can't take it, then we'll have the girls like pick up a bachelorette party, or
Mhm.
if we have like a market event, then the girls will do that. And then if we ever need any help with online orders, we'll just text them and they'll just come to my house, and then we can pay them to help us do
Yeah.
that.
Luckily, Jill lives in a big house now with a big
Way
garage.
bigger. I have so much more space now. Thankfully.
awesome.
Yeah.
it's great.
So I wanted to talk about some of the, like, there were some things that you had mentioned that you had problems with, or like some kind of business issues. You talked about firing people and not having a storefront and some of that. So I want to get into some of that, because I'm just kind of curious where you are in that kind of journey of entrepreneurship. But let's talk about the hiring and firing people, because I feel like that is the freaking hardest thing to do. And Ariel can attest to that, because she handles all the hiring and firing for us now.
Yeah.
So what has been the struggle with all of that?
Hiring's easy. Finding people that say they want to work, easy. Finding people that actually want to work,
yeah,
so much harder.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And also what we do is we work with our hands. Like we're working with little pliers, and if you're not used to doing like, it's all muscle memory, right? So if you're not used to working with small things and being really calm and still, it takes practice, really. So
Sure.
it's just finding people that are able to like put in the work to like make sure that they're confident, and building a lot of confidence here, because whenever you're around the welder, if you haven't touched it before, like I can do this in my sleep, like, because I've been doing it for so long, but someone else doesn't feel so confident in it, and just making sure that people feel supported and they feel confident before they leave. So whenever you send them off to go to, because it can be kind of scary if you really think about it, like you're welding it, you're going to some random Airbnb. Everybody usually who books a party with us is very happy that we're there, but it still can feel a little scary to like go into your first party. I remember my first party, I was terrified, and it was just a bunch of girls that were just hungover from the night before because they were hanging out at Broadway. So it's like, what are we scared for?
Yeah.
But it's still, there's still that little bit of like, it's a little scary, but you want to make sure someone feels confident and supported, and they can always, and
so we've run into the problem of people just like not being outgoing enough, honestly, because you kind of do have to put on a show, especially when you're doing bachelorette parties or like pop-ups. You're trying to get business into the tent, right? So it's like, hey, let me know if you guys need any help. Like, you have to be outgoing. And so some people just aren't like that inherently. Not sure what they thought they'd be doing when we described the job to them, but whatever. And then the other problem we've really run into is like, people just will put like an event or whatever in the group chat and no one will respond, and like no one will take the parties, or like people won't work for us for like 3-4 months on end, which like, it's not a set schedule. Obviously they're independent contractors, they don't have to, but when you've gone all summer and you haven't done a single event, why are you here? Like,
right.
And we've had those conversations, just checking in on people and being like, hey, I know that you've kind of been absent for a while, like just want to know, like, if you're not, it's okay if you're not in, like, if you feel like it's not working out with your schedule anymore, like, let me know so we can make room for someone else. So that's an issue that we've run into.
That's that piece. And then the other piece is actually contracting out like photographers, social media managers, which I know that was kind of what we were getting into, is we had outsourced socials twice.
So to preface this conversation, Katie is very type A. I am very type B.
Yeah.
Very type A. And so Katie knows what she wants, and she knows how to get it done. I look at something, I'm like, looks good, love it.
Yeah.
Like,
that's how I am. I'm that.
Yeah, she's very meticulous, and but I love, that's what I love about her, and that's why she's very good at what she does. But trying to find someone to like take what's in her brain and put it out is just nearly impossible. And the only person that can do it is her, is what we found out.
Except with one exception, with Jackie.
Yeah.
So the first thing we ever outsourced was our a photo shoot, because we're like, okay, we're at the point where like we need good content for socials for our Instagram. So we outsourced our photography to her name is Jackie Sterna. She is like kind of local to Nashville, not anymore, but she used to be. Incredible photographer. I mean, her mind, like she's so talented, and she's done 3 photo shoots for us now. We did a spring one, so we had like spring summer content, a fall one, so we had like fall winter content, and then she does our e-commerce photos for us as well. Incredible at her job. Love her down so bad. That is the only independent contractor or like outsourced kind of like, not our girls that do our events, but anyone else that we've had an issue with everyone else we've ever tried to work with. And I think it really does come back to like I really feel like people don't want to work anymore. Like they like the idea of whatever it might be that we're doing. And then they're like, don't answer emails for 2 or 3 weeks, which by the way, we'll get.
I'm like laughing along with this because I feel like we've had these
It's
experiences.
so relatable.
It's crazy.
But we're not the only ones, and people don't just hate us like that.
It's not just us. And I'm like, it's not insane for me to expect, if you can't answer an email fully, for you to just be like, hey, sorry, like busy week, I'll circle back to this. Just let me know you saw it. And also, I'm paying you thousands of dollars for you to meet a deadline that you set for yourself, and you're not meeting it. I get to be upset about that.
Yeah.
Communicate with me. Tell me you can't meet it. Tell me why you can't meet it. Like, it's just, it's crazy to me. The other problem is like people we outsource to are the younger generation, right? And we're in our 30s, so we're outsourcing to creative teams that are like in their early 20s, because that's the content our people want to see. And so who better knows that than someone that is 22 to 25, right? The way that I don't know what the difference is between our 10 years, don't understand the business side of a business, blows my mind every single time. I could go all day about it. I get so pissed.
Yeah, but it's all it's all very relatable. I mean, there was one time, oh gosh, I can't remember. Maybe I shouldn't even say her name on here. Remember when I hired somebody, Ariel, that was supposed to be in charge of the head of operations, and then she never showed up for the job?
Yeah, she like ghosted everyone.
Yeah, it was so weird. I went through like I paid a recruiting firm to like go and hire this person. She interviewed great. It was like awesome, perfect fit. And then it was like, didn't hear from her after like a week. And I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. And then she would like email and she'd be like, hey, I'm working on all this stuff. And it was like, it's kind of hard with like a remote business because you can't, at the time, like I didn't do time tracking or anything like that. We didn't have like systems. She was supposed to be there to build it. And she technically worked for me for a month, and I talked to her once, and then I couldn't fire her. Was the other thing. Like I was trying to get in contact with her to fire her, and she wouldn't even respond to that. So it was the only person I've ever had to fire via email. And it was the most weird experience. And I wasted thousands of dollars finding this person.
Yeah.
Yes, it is super relatable. And it is hard to find people that are good fits for sure. And I feel like all of my friends that are business owners, they all say the same thing that you said, where it's like, it doesn't seem like anybody wants to work. And I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems like it that way for some reason. And I don't know why that is. I wish I did.
And the thing is, I don't want to work either.
Yeah.
I just know I'm not dreaming of labor. People are like, is this like do you love? No, I don't want, I want to go hang out with my friends all the time. I don't want to be doing anything. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right.
It's just at some way, shape, or form, don't you have anything inside of you that at least feels bad for telling someone you'll do something and not doing it? Don't you have guilt? I was born and raised Catholic. I'm like,
don't you have inherent guilt? Yeah. So how, like, sorry, that was funny. How do you feel like you're handling that? Like you're obviously frustrated by it, but it's like, is there something that you've changed in the hiring process to try to find people that are a better fit?
2 things. Good cop, bad cop.
Okay.
That's how we handle every situation.
Yeah.
And very intentionally, because I find that when people hate me, they're really nice to her.
Okay.
And that's how we get things done. And
Yeah.
it works honestly pretty well.
Yeah.
Now we're just like afraid to hire anybody to do, like, we're just like,
we're also in a good spot now. We're shifting from being in person. We're doing a lot more online, which is exactly what we want. Right. So we haven't really had to deal with that head on. And we do have a few girls that are still left that are still working for us that we can use when we need. So we don't need as many people because we're not doing as many in-person events. And now Katie's here. So we haven't had to deal with that just yet. And hopefully we can just continue to increase our online and not do as many in-person stuff because I love
Yeah.
doing my work in my
Right.
PJs.
Right.
Yeah.
And not,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
not making TikTok videos. Yeah.
yeah.
so have you had like you mentioned that you had problems firing people though? Like what is that? I'm guessing it wasn't like my situation where I literally just couldn't find the person to fire them. But
Yeah.
like,
The other problem I think we've run into is like we've largely hired from recommendations, which like
mhm.
Nashville is a big city, small town. And so like we have a lot of creative people, especially well, Jill does. I should say Jill has a creative network. I don't. And so we have a lot of people that were recommended to us. And so it's like you're walking this fine line of like, yeah, firing someone sucks already, but then firing somebody that like is a friend of a friend of a friend that you're going to see at the bars on the weekends. And like Jill's a bartender. So it's like, she's going to see these people at her bar. Like, how do you handle that without pissing them off? You know what I mean? Or without like having
Oh, that's
people
kind of weird.
have bad things to say about us, is a piece of it.
Yes, but also I feel like we've had a handful of 2 or 3 people maybe that we've had like that we've fired in a way that was kind of stressful and hated it.
I feel like there's a
Great.
good story here.
So
Yeah.
while we were like balls to the wall 2022, 2023,
Yeah.
we were expanding out. So we had 2 girls. No, and the other girl.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remembered her. So Katie was in Chattanooga. So we were taking parties in Chattanooga. I was here taking parties in Nashville. Then we had a girl, one of Katie's friends, former friends. She moved out to Charlotte.
She was doing events in Chattanooga for me.
Gotcha.
And so we did like some events in Chattanooga, and she was doing events in Chattanooga, and she was great.
She moved to Charlotte. So we're like, let's try to pick up some events in Charlotte. And then we were like, well, let's try to get one more city under our belt. So we reached out. I don't even know where. We posted something in some like permanent jewelry Facebook group or something like that. And we had a girl that reached out from Arizona that was wanting to do events with us. And boy, let me tell you, that was a nightmare.
Well, Arizona is like, it's like Nashville, Arizona, Charleston are like 3 huge bachelorette towns, right? So we were like, at the time, that was like our biggest market. We had already had like branding, photo shoots. We had the know-how. We had the website. Like we had the booking platform. We had Square. Like we had everything. So it was really like, hey, if anybody wants to like essentially franchise Wood and Wolf into a city that like bachelorettes come to, it's you don't have to pay anything up front. We will provide you everything. We just then split profits because we're still managing legal, accounting, websites, and socials. So you guys don't even have to do your socials. I'll do them. You just have to work your events essentially. And so this girl reached out. She was like, target demographic, right? Like, especially in Arizona, target demographic is like white 30-year-old, like, or 20, 25, 30-year-old. She was very cute. Seemed great, sent her all this stuff. She like booked events that we paid. So like the other thing is like we pay everything up front, right? We pay vendor fees, whatever. Paid a vendor fee for an event that was like $400.
No, it was $800.
It was $800. And she just no call, no shows it. And so we're like, hey.
And then but also didn't tell us that she wasn't going to do it.
So we thought she was there and just had no sales that day.
And then when we reached out to her, she was very like upset. And I'm like, why are you upset? You should be the one. Why are you mad at me because you didn't show up to an event? And she was just like really upset. It was something to do. Like she had a lot of personal stuff going on. And I'm like, well, how are we supposed to know that? Like, we're here to support you. I don't understand why you're being so like hostile. It turned bad really quickly.
It was definitely like something she was going through with like her baby's daddy or like something like that. It seemed like
I think her own she did like she had another side business that ended up closing. So I think it probably had something to do with that. Either way, let me know. Like I'm willing to like, we could have refunded that vendor fee and we're out $800 and like, it just turned out to be a fucking nightmare.
It was like didn't tell us. And I was like still responding to emails for Scottsdale and doing all the socials and everything. And then we just like, she just wouldn't answer us. So eventually we were like, hey, like if you're going to close this down, you still in our contract is like a return of materials, right? Has to be. And so we're like, you still have to like mail all this stuff back to us. Like it's a welder, it's a bunch of like inventory and that's like gold and silver. Like it's thousands of dollars worth of stuff. You have to mail that back to us. And she was like, well, where's my money? And we were like, honey, what money? We split a profit. And even if you made money and like you brought in money at an event, it cost us money to get there. So unless you make more than the event costs, there's no profit to split with you, babe. And we're like trying to explain this to her. And she goes, well, I'm an owner of this company.
She thought she
Oh
was a
my
shareholder.
gosh.
Hello?
I thought Ashton Kutcher was going to pop out and we were going to get punked. She thought that she was a partial owner in it. And I'm like, you obviously didn't read the contract. I thought we were very clear on like what this was.
Yeah.
So long story short, we got our stuff back.
Because I was going to file a lawsuit against her, remember?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I like drafted and filed a small claims court because she was like refusing to return the stuff to us. And I was like, I can either file this and I will fly my ass out there for $300 and represent us in court, or you can mail this shit back. And we'll pay for mailing, by the way. It's like $85 to ship it. Shouldn't have had to, but I was like, babe, just give us our shit back and let's end this. Like,
wow. We got it back. She went ghost, but we got it back. But that wasn't a fun one.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
I have so many thoughts on all that. Like, one, how great is it to have an attorney like is just on your team who can handle stuff, but also like the vetting process that you like if you are going to build out like a franchise model, which I mean, is that something that you guys are continuing to do or no?
we kissed that goodbye
okay.
after all that. But we basically made up a whole package and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I did like a whole contract and obviously had like a breakdown of how much everything costs versus like what the profit split would look like when we make those payouts, like all of those things. Because that's franchise contracts are also what I do for work. So it was a very easy thing to do. Again, it's just finding the right person to do it.
And that was the issue. And then it was kind of like we got burned twice. We were just like, let's put a pin in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the business kind of just went a complete different way. So that's great.
Which it always does. You plan and then something, and then we're like, why do we even try to plan? Because it's never how it ends up going anyway. We don't own this business. This business owns us.
Yeah. God, Ariel, this is like the third time in a row that I've talked about EOS in a
I know. I was
in
just
a freaking
thinking.
podcast.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System?
We're not getting paid for this, by the way.
Yeah, we got to say that because she's like, it's a good. What's the book? What book should they read? Potentially, if you're interested in this.
Yeah.
We adopted EOS at Stellar Brands. Yeah, Traction. We adopted that system because I was basically going through a lot. Maybe not. It sounds like there's like a little bit more like problem child kind of employees in your business than there are in ours, but
we've had
I didn't
for sure.
Well, we do, but but it's like, to me, it was just really hard to get actual traction. And that's why the book is called Traction. But it was just like, we were doing all these different things and I was like pushing the team in all these different directions and I couldn't figure out how to get out of the day-to-day of the business. And so when Ariel came on as head of operations, we decided to go the EOS route. And I think so far it's been pretty amazing because I've been able to, like, the whole thing is like, you're able to step into just being the business owner and you don't have to like do all of the stuff. Like basically Ariel does all of the stuff that I don't want to do anymore as a business owner because I've been doing this for 10 years. Yeah. But just even hearing like Katie, you saying like, or Jill saying that, Katie, it's hard for you to like hand stuff off to people because like they're not going to do it the same way that you want it done. To me, it sounded like y'all need to read EOS because it's such a good system. I'll let Ariel talk. And I promise we're not selling this because we literally cannot sell it. But it's just been so helpful for me in the business.
Yeah.
And this is the first time in the business, I would say, I've been doing this for 10 years now. It's the first time that I feel like free. And I'm still not quite there, but I'm like very close.
Well, you were able to take a full month long paternity leave. And I don't think that you would have been able to do that without this, which is
probably not.
Felt really good.
Do you feel like when you hand things off finally that they're being done the way that you wanted them to do? I know this is a loaded question with Ariel here.
No, that's totally fine. I like this feedback.
This is good because like Ariel and I have a quarterly feedback thing.
Yeah, we can just do it right now with everyone.
Actually, this is now. Let's go.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think initially, no. But that's it. What I've kind of learned after all the years of like having different contractors and then full-time employees and all that stuff, like they're going to mess stuff up. Yeah. But it's what you're looking for is somebody that's going to make a mistake and then fix it and then not do that again.
Yes.
And so it's like you kind of, it sucks because you kind of have to be willing to like let people mess things up inside of your business. Yeah. But as long as they are trying to improve and they learn quickly, which Ariel does absolutely, then it long term you do get that freedom that you want.
Yeah.
It's just really hard to do it in the beginning.
It's a process for sure.
It's a process, and it's so funny. I own another company called Laptop Empires, and my business partner is an attorney. So it's like his personality and yours are exactly the same. It's like he will cut somebody's throat if they do the wrong thing, but I love it though because it's like he knows exactly what he freaking wants.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that yes, eventually they do mess up a lot. Going back to the original question, but they eventually take things off your plate. And then the space that you're supposed to get to with EOS is where you just come up with ideas. And that's it.
Love that.
His job description is literally like 20 new ideas or something is like on his responsibilities list.
Yeah.
Yes. Now the frustrating thing is that I come up with a lot of ideas and now Ariel tells me no. So like that's just part of it though, because like the reality is like if I have all of these ideas, and what I was doing was I was like, we need to build this product, we need to do this thing, we need to sell this thing, and then the team can't, like nobody actually gets anything done. So now I'll come up with ideas, and Ariel's like, we're going to do that maybe next quarter, maybe next year, and so it's been a learning process for me, because like I like to know what's going on in the business, I like to move things around.
Yeah.
I don't know, Ariel, how you feel about it? Like I'm talking, but you.
No, I think it's great. I think Bobby and I have always had a great working relationship where he's like super open to like you can break something and that's okay. That's just like part of like running a business. And I am very much like I want to get it perfect the first time. Mm-hmm. And so him being that kind of leader has helped me as I start to delegate to other people, which is great. And I think it all comes down to a lot of it's just like communicating with each other. Like don't expect anything unless you have like clear communication about what the expectations are. Like don't assume anything, don't assume people know anything. Just like talking about it. And I don't know if that's any more helpful, but
the other thing that EOS does, so it'll give you the freedom, and it'll really it'll help both of you really define your roles in the business because everybody has like a seat in that system, where it's like your seat is very well defined. But the whole idea is that you replace those seats with other people eventually. But the other thing it does is like we have a full-blown system for evaluating employees, and like we know exactly they have to check like certain boxes, and if they don't, then we have to exit them from the company. Like it's very clear cut. Mm-hmm. Maybe you could talk a little bit more about that, Ariel.
The process of like implementing EOS is like the first things that you do are determine your like core values as a company. And they're not like woo-woo core values that just like go on your website. They're like, these are actually things that you have to commit to like upholding and then hiring, firing, and like rewarding through. And it's kind of funny. Like, I feel like there will be moments where I'm like, oh, what core value is this like aligned with? And then like, let's tell this person they did a great job with core value 3 or whatever. It feels like a kind of parenting, like, oh, you're supposed to be nice to people and you did that today. Good job. It like reduces a lot of the like emotional labor that goes along with like managing people and firing them, because it's like, hey, we have these things lined out clearly. Not only do we have core values lined out clearly, we have a list of examples of each of them. So if there are any questions about what does this one look like, it's right here. And if you are not following the rules, essentially, this is, we're going to help you correct that, hopefully. But yeah, it's like I think the most exciting thing for me as somebody who is newer to like managing people is just having like a very clear cut system for how to handle people.
Mm-hmm. And I think that reminds me of two things. First and foremost, my partner at my law firm is genuinely one of the best bosses I've ever had my entire life. And one of the reasons I think he's the best boss I've ever had is because, like, obviously when you fuck up, sorry, can I swear on this?
Yeah, you can swear on this.
Sure.
I was like, shit. Sorry.
Just keep going.
When you fuck something up in law, it's like, it matters, right? Like that somebody's business or like that makes us look unprofessional or whatever. But my boss has always been very, very good at like, I never feel like I'm going to get yelled at. I've always felt like I could do something wrong, even submit it or even have our clients sign it. And if he finds out, I know that he's going to be like, it's okay. Like, you're never going to be perfect. Like, he's very good at that. And the second piece is like when you're an attorney and you take your bar exam, you take an ethics portion of the bar exam. And one of the biggest things, like the number one reason that attorneys get disbarred is lack of communication, because we have an obligation to like communicate case updates. And that's the biggest problem I think we find with every single person that we've ever had an issue working for us is either not communicating at all, or like lying about what's going on, or like saying that they'll do something and then not following through with it. And so it's just kind of like we had a problem with one of our girls, and we love her to death. We've always loved her. She's been with us since the beginning, but she's like wasn't picking anything up, wasn't responding to text messages. And we finally were like, hey, we texted her separate, and we were like, what's going on? And she's like, oh, my dad passed. And we're like, oh my God, like we didn't know. We're so sorry. Like, didn't mean to get on your case about it. We didn't know. So she'd been like traveling, or maybe he didn't pass. Maybe he was just sick.
No, he passed.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was just sick. And so we sent her like $100 on Venmo, and we were just like, for all your tickets or like food in the airport or like whatever, like we love you. Let us know when you want to come back, if you ever do want to come back. Because that's really all it takes. Like, just tell us what's going on, please.
Yeah. So one other thing that the two of you talked about before the episode was just like the tax side of things. And
taxes make me want to blow my brains out.
Yeah.
Hey, me too. Me too. I'm not a big fan.
At least once a week, Bobby makes a joke to our like bookkeeping and like finance people as like basically, what if I stop paying taxes today? Like,
Let's try it. Like,
I know you try really hard.
Like, what if?
Right.
They don't like that. Yeah, they don't like that question, but I'm like, I feel like I should be able to figure out a way. Like, there's got to be some way to do it.
Like, how are millionaires and billionaires not paying taxes? Why can't I?
Well, exactly. Like, where's the Cayman Islands account that I can open up and whatever?
I don't have when it comes to taxes. I'm so serious.
Let us know if you figure it out. We'll let you know.
Yeah. But I started working with an accounting firm 6 years ago that was super helpful for me. And like, because forever, like I had no idea what I was doing with taxes. I hired bookkeepers myself, and I hired one out of the Philippines that totally messed up my books. It was like a complete disaster.
Oh, no.
I've made like every single mistake with all that stuff. So I'm just curious, what challenge do the two of you have with just taxes in general, but like accounting and all that?
You can take this one over. Katie tried to do it herself, which she knows a lot more than you're talking to me. I'm like, I took an accounting class in college 8 years ago. I don't know anything. So Katie tried for a little bit, and then I noticed Katie tries to take on a lot, and then she stresses herself out, and then she spirals. And I'm like, Katie, it doesn't have to be like this. Like, we can outsource this. Let's try to figure it out. I feel like I spend a lot of my time talking her off the edge, just because she just likes to take on so much.
Yeah.
But then we outsourced to someone that she was someone had just
so for the first year I did it myself, but we weren't that big yet. And then the second year we're like, shit,
like, we're like doing numbers, like we're like real, this is real what we're doing. Like, this isn't a fake business.
Like I remember our first event it was
the bridal show.
We did like a bridal show, and we made like $300 each, I want to say. And we were like, oh my God, like the whole weekend's free for going around. We were so excited. We were literally like, oh my God, this is so exciting. Like, mind blown. We never expected that much money. And then we had like our first $16,000 day, and we were like, oh, we need a CPA. Like,
we're pulling in a lot of cash here.
Yeah. So the first year I did it ourselves because it wasn't that big of a deal. And then the second year, someone had recommended a local Chattanooga accountant to us. She seemed great at first. She was really good at bookkeeping and really bad at taxes, is how I felt. She was very organized, like always got us all of our financial statements and like filed our sales taxes and like that kind of stuff. But then when it came to like any piece of like what you would expect your accountant to tell you to do to save money on taxes, nothing was there. Like, she didn't tell us about, and I knew like a decent amount because I work with tax attorneys so often, especially for businesses. So I'm in a lot of the meetings. So like, I understand double taxation. I understand pass through. Like I get all of that stuff. But it was like the like exceptions to rules that I obviously wouldn't know anything about. Like you should pay this much to yourself as payroll because then you don't have to pay the
Mhm.
14, like all of that stuff. You probably know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
That she
unfortunately, I
just
do.
never told us about. And I was like, how would I know that? So I'm talking to my partner of my law firm, John. He obviously runs their business. And he's like, well, yeah, you pay yourself the salary, right? And we're like, no, we just take dividends. And he's like, talk to your accountant right now. And if they're not telling you to do that, fire them. And then that's how we realized all of the shit she was like missing telling us.
Mhm.
And she cost us, I want to say $8,000 or $9,000
Yeah.
that year. So we fired her. I finished out the year because it was really just filing like monthly sales tax with the state of Tennessee and then like our quarterly taxes. So I was like, I can do that piece and then we'll hire someone to do our taxes in the new year for like the previous year.
Yeah.
Found another firm that was recommended. And the very first meeting, he was like, if I'm not saving you what you're spending on me, I'm not doing my job correctly. I'm going to meet with you quarterly and tell you how much money you need to be like expensing out so that you can essentially pay no taxes. And I was like, great.
Hey.
So far so good.
Mhm.
This is our first year with him though, so we'll see.
Okay. That's cool. Have you felt like it's been difficult to figure out how to pay yourselves from the company?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing is like I just want to Venmo us and be like distribution.
Right, yeah.
Can't do that, it turns out. So we have like through our accountants have set up like ADP payroll and we just pay ourselves like, you know, the idea is like we work part-time. So all you have to do to avoid that like extra taxation is a reasonable salary for what a part-time full year employee would be. Right. So we hit that and then we start taking distributions. But that has always gone through our accountant. So outside of just Venmoing ourselves our distributions, it's been easy.
Yeah. Have you felt like, actually, I don't know if I even asked you this, like, where are you trying to take this? Because right now it's like you're at a point where you've grown to like, it sounds like a really great level. Like, are you trying to like blow this thing up or are you trying to keep it where it is?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great, right? Like the dream is to always blow it up. We're doing about 300,000 a year,
Yeah.
right now. I would say our
That's
first
awesome.
year was only 6 months, so it was 80,000, something like that. Second year was like 159, and then our third year was 300,000. And
Freaking great.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We were looking at it and we were like, wow.
like,
We have a lot of imposter syndrome, I feel like, because
Yeah.
whenever we say those numbers out loud, it just doesn't feel real.
yeah,
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we never know what we actually really want to do, but it always changes, right? But we're slowly getting closer towards our goal of just strictly being online.
that was the biggest. I think for us, it was we never knew exactly how to get there, but we always knew that's where we wanted to get. I would love for our brand to be more than just jewelry. I think it was a great start, but I think like Jill and I just have such big personalities and such specific voices that I think that our brand could be very funny. And so like we're moving into merch. I don't know if I put that on the
You did. Yeah.
thing. Okay. So we're moving into merch. We just actually had our first round of merch printed. And so we should be getting that soon. And we honestly, we're fucking funny. And so and we're really going to be able to lean into a more creative side with like with our voice, because like our captions are funny, our TikTok captions are funny, like all of that shit is funny, like our branding is funny. And so we're finally going to be able to use that, because you can't really use that in jewelry, right? Like there's no words in jewelry for
Right.
largely. So we're really excited about that. I would love for like our socials, our brand to be more associated with like a tone, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sarcastic, swearing, funny, making fun, laughing at how horrible the world is currently. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
somewhere for a cheap laugh. That's kind of that's kind of where I envision us making sense going, because it's always kind of been what we are. Anyway, so
Yeah.
Your
No, that's cool.
you recently redid like your website and all of the branding and everything. I love it. And was that all part of this like idea of moving into merch and other
Yes.
stuff as well? Okay.
yeah, we really needed more cohesiveness on our socials, which is kind of what drove that.
Mhm.
That was the beginning part of it. And then knowing that we wanted to get into merch, we were like, okay, there's a couple of brands that we really follow that we really like hold in such high regard. And one of them is Good Girls Snacks or Good Girls Pickles. Have you ever heard of them?
No, but I'm gonna
Okay.
look them up.
Yeah,
They're
look 'em up.
amazing. They have these like little, their branding is phenomenal. And it's just two women that own this pickle company, and their socials are so funny. Like their branding is amazing. And they have these two little, like one is a pickle and then one's like a girl. And that's like their characters for their brand. And so like whenever they're posting or whenever they're doing socials or like whatever, they have these characters doing random funny things. And we were like, wait, we love that. So when we went into branding, we knew obviously we needed our color scheme and our fonts or whatever, but we also needed our like, what is Duolingo to Duolingo? You know what I mean? Like the little, we
Yeah.
need that for ourselves. And so when we met with the girl that was doing our branding, one of our things were like, we kind of want like a wood character and a wolf character. And so they're both wolves, which makes sense. But like mine is like very girly, very like clean girl aesthetic. She's wearing like high heels and cute sunglasses, and Jill's is wearing like cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. And like hers is more like edgy and like darker kind of vibes, which is like very much us.
Yes.
So that drove, what that drove is a lot of like merch based of an idea. Like we make these into like characters people are going to want to like watch or know. You know what I mean? Like they have our voices.
Your website's freaking cool. I looked at it like a week ago when Ariel first told me about this interview, and I was like, God, this is freaking awesome. Did you hire somebody to do it, or did you do it yourself?
Yes, we hired somebody to do that.
But we knew that we wanted to be online more.
Mhm.
It's our storefront essentially, so we wanted it to look as good as we make our socials look, and
Yeah.
she did a really good job with that, and I think that's been very helpful for driving more sales.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, I think I've never worked with a web developer that's been easy to work with. So like that's been actually for the longest time, that was the hardest thing to hire, because our business is so web heavy, with just like technical, like tracking analytics, all sorts of stuff. I hate all of it.
Yeah.
But it was like forever. It's always been a disaster. But I've got to get my kid up soon, so I don't have a whole lot of time left, unfortunately. But the two of you are like, you are hilarious. So, and it's so cool to hear like how your business is going. I mean, you're growing every year. I would definitely check out EOS just because that's something, if I could go back 10 years, I wish I had just done it from the beginning, even though I still don't even feel like we're quite ready for it, because it's really for companies. What's the size, Ariel? It's like 2 million and up or something, or is it $1 million?
And it's like a team size thing also, like 10 team members and up maybe.
Yeah.
So it definitely, like, you grow into it, but like, I think that's going to give the two of you so much more freedom, because I think what's going to happen is that your business is going to keep growing exponentially, because you already have, I think, the cool stuff figured out of like the branding and the message and a good product. And so I think you're just going to grow really quickly from there. So I would get out ahead of it. And then the other thing I would look into, we didn't talk about it at all, profit first.
I was just going to say profit first. Yeah.
Well, tell them about it.
Well, I don't know as much
these
about
companies
it.
need to pay us. Like, these companies need to pay us for talking about this stuff, but they don't.
No, I don't know as much about profit first as Bobby does, but it's basically a system that you like, it helps you as a business owner pay yourself, and also setting aside money to do, we do like profit, what do we call it? Profit rewards sharing, something like that. Every quarter, employees
It's a profit rewards account.
Profit
It's
rewards,
like money goes into it and then it gets distributed to the employees.
Yeah. And it's just been like, I think it's been really good for Bobby as the owner to like, this is where I want pay to be at for myself. This is how, and not just that, but like making sure everything is like okay for the team and having all these different accounts and everything. That's all handled by our like bookkeeper and CPA team too. So we don't do it, but there is a book called Profit First.
You can self-implement. It's just been helpful. And where I see the two of you going, what happened to me several times throughout my career so far is that we'd get a big growth in revenue, and then I would go hire a bunch of people. And then, because I was like, I'm going to invest in future growth. And then it always, like, I either hired people that shouldn't have been hired, or it's like all of a sudden they were eating up all of our revenue. And I was like, oh crap, how am I going to pay myself? This sucks. Yeah. And since we did the profit first thing, which really all it is like every dollar that comes into the company gets put into a certain account. And there's like 7 different accounts, but there's like owner's pay, taxes, profit, operating expenses, like everything gets portioned out every month. And then you know exactly like how much it makes you live within your means inside of the business.
Yeah.
And then you know exactly, like, you set owner's pay for yourself, and then you take profit on top of that. it's just a different way of accounting, but I would highly recommend it because like that has made, because there's and the two of you know this, it's like sometimes you make a lot of money and sometimes it feels like you're not making anything. And so that's, I was tired of going through that, especially like I have kids now and stuff. So it's like, I can't just be like, oh, I guess we're not paying ourselves.
Yeah.
But I think that the two of you are going to have to figure that out because I think you're going to grow really quickly because you already are.
We can
hope.
So
yeah. But like, simultaneously, it's like when you objectively look at it, you're like, okay, like what started as a small business is people's dream way to run a business, right? Like we're so fortunate and so lucky. But then when you're in it, especially when you have a low month, you're like, the thing's closing down. You know what I mean?
It sucks. Yeah.
I'm never going to make another dollar. It's like, it's so up and down. That's what people don't talk about enough. Owning a business is not fun. It's not fun.
It has fun moments. And it's awesome, but it's very stressful.
Type A. I'm like, I'm so stressed out all the time.
Yeah, I know exactly what we were talking about though. Like
we had a rough week last week that Bobby was like ready to jump off a cliff.
So ready to quit the business last week. Like there's a Chick-fil-A down the road. Like I was like, I'll go work there. I would work there and I would press the fry button over and over again.
Yeah, when you get Sundays off.
Yeah, exactly. It's like easy.
Yeah.
But there's so many, and that's a great point. Like there's so many times where I've been like, this is so hard. Like why did I do this to myself? Like I could have just been a teacher and like been happy. But it's
stick with our other careers, but we don't for some reason.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's just like I don't know. I feel like the challenge is like the part. Maybe I don't even know if I'm just telling myself that at this point. Like the challenge is what I enjoy.
Better, doesn't it, Bobby?
I think I've created like a coping mechanism that I just like struggle in pain. But it's whatever. It's like I'm here. So
yeah.
But anyway, I would check out Profit First, check out EOS. I love your company. I love what you're doing. I'm probably going to buy something for my wife. I got to go figure out how to do it. But,
believe in you.
But I appreciate your time so much. Where do you want people to go and find you out in the internet world?
Yeah, we are website and all socials are Wood and Wolfe, but Wolfe has an E on the end of it. So it's WOODAND WOLFE.
Okay.
Wood and
awesome.
Wolfe.
Don't forget the E.
Don't forget the E.
And we'll have to share when we share this episode, one of those viral videos that kind of kicked things off for you guys, because those are
great. Question, please.
One where you look what?
Prettiest.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for thinking of us.
Yeah, and if you have any questions as you keep growing, just hit us up. Like we can just, we'll show you. We've messed up every single thing that you can possibly mess up, so we can try to help you.
We'll learn from your mistakes.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah,
somebody needs to.
From learning from our own mistakes.
I mean, we will probably continue making the same mistakes over and over again too. To be honest.
No, we're not doing that. No, we're not. But anyway, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Y'all are awesome. Appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.